And here is the Writer's Almanac for Saturday. It's the 11th of May, 2019. It was on this day, 1875, in Michigan, the aviator and screenwriter Harriet Quimby was born. She became a journalist in San Francisco, New York. She went on to an aviation tournament in October 1910 and was fascinated, so she took flying lessons, got her pilot's license, and in September 1911, wearing a purple satin outfit with a hood, she flew on a moonlit night over a crowd of 15,000 spectators on Staten Island. That same year, 1911, she wrote 7 screenplays for silent films directed by D.W. Griffith. And the next year, she became the first woman to fly across the English Channel. And in the summer of 1912, that summer, flying her new monoplane near Boston, the plane unexpectedly pitched forward, which threw Harriet Quimby and her passenger to their deaths in the ocean just off Dorchester. She was 37 years old. It's the birthday of the surrealist painter Salvador Dalí, born on this day 1904 in Figueres, Spain, who once said, "The one thing the world will never have enough of is the outrageous." So he had a long waxed upturned mustache, long sideburns. Sometimes he walked down the street ringing a bell so that people would turn and look at him. Salvador Dalí said, "In order to acquire a growing and lasting respect in society, it is a good thing if you possess great talent, to give early in your youth a very hard kick to the right shin of the society that you love. After that, be a snob." He said, "Each morning when I awake, I experience again a supreme pleasure, that of being Salvador Dalí." His painting, The Persistence of Memory, showing melted pocket watches hanging from trees, is at the Museum of Modern Art in New York City. It was on this day in 1858 the state of Minnesota was admitted into the Union. 1812, on this date, the waltz was introduced at Almanac's Dance Hall in London, the first closed couple dance the English aristocracy had ever seen, men and women embracing one another as they were dancing, the men lifting the women over their thighs as the couples turned. Some people called it disgusting, but it caught on. And it was on this day in 1942 that Go Down Moses by William Faulkner was published, a group of interrelated stories set in Yoknapatawpha County, stories tracing members of the McCaslin family from pre-Civil War slavery days until the 1940s. The central character, Isaac McCaslin, rejecting his family's estate, which has been passed down for generations. He is disgusted at the idea that his family felt they could truly own the land and that they could own other people as slaves. Here's a poem for today, a poem by Stephen Dunn entitled Wild. The year I owned a motorcycle and split the air in southern Spain and could smell the oranges in the orange groves as I passed them outside of Sevilla. I understood I'd been riding too long in cars, probably even should get a horse, become a high-up flesh-connected thing among the bulls and cows. My brand-new wife had a spirit that worried and excited me, a history of moving on. Wine from a spigot for pennies, langostinas and angulas, Even the language felt dangerous in my mouth. Mornings, our icebox bereft of ice, I'd speed on my motorcycle to the iceman's house, strap a big rectangular block to the extended seat where my wife often sat. Hot behind me, arms around my waist. In the streets, the smell of olive oil, the noise of men torn between church and sex, their bodies taut, heretical, and the women elegant, buttoned up, or careless, full of public joy, a Jesus around their necks. Our neighbors taught us how to close up in the afternoon, the stupidity of not respecting the sun. They forgave us who we were. Evenings, we'd take turns with the Herald Tribune, killing mosquitoes, our bedroom walls bloody, in this country known for blood. We couldn't kill enough. When the Levant, the big wind, came out of Africa with its sand and heat, disturbing things, it brought with it a lesson unlearnable of how far a certain wildness can go. Our money ran out. I sold the motorcycle. We moved without knowing it to take our quieter places in the world. A poem titled Wild by Stephen Dunn from his collection Loose Strife, published by W.W. Norton and used by permission here on the Writer's Almanac for Saturday, the 11th of May, 2019. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.